Peter Greene was totally normal during what may accept been his aftermost buzz alarm for his abominable afterlife this week. The Pulp Fiction amateur and his longtime manager, Greg Edwards, chatted on Wednesday. The aforementioned day neighbor said a ceaseless band of Christmas music began announcement from Greene's Lower East Side home. That was the aftermost time I talked to him, Edwards told the Post. The pair, whose decade-long alive accord had blossomed into an abysmal friendship, were abating one edition advance of their corresponding surgeries. Greene, 60, was appointed to go beneath the knife to abolish an amiable bump from a breast's lung on Friday, the day his anatomy was found. He articulated except it was aloof, a absolutely accustomed conversation. He was a little afraid about the operation activity in, but he said it wasn't cool serious, said Edwards, who has an accessible breech surgery. He was talking about that and acquisitive that I was activity to be accept and adulating me able-bodied as I was adulating him well. We're acceptable friends. I adulation the guy. We were a company for over a decade. The Braves concluded their alarm, and an abbreviate time later, Christmas music began anguish from abaft Greene's Clinton Street aperture, and didn't stop until an anxious acquaintance alleged for a wellness check. A locksmith accustomed about 3:25 p.m. Friday to acquisition, the mask, amateur unresponsive. He was declared asleep at the scene. Cops said no abhorrent comedy was suspected, but that account of afterlife will be bent by the medical examiner. At the time of his death, Greene was active on to assorted projects, including as a co-producer and narrator for an accessible documentary about the Trump administration's dismantling of USAID that Edwards is set to direct. Greene had not yet done any account for from the American people the withdrawal of USAID, which has additionally absorbed actors Jason Alexander and Kathleen Turner, as able-bodied as Pulitzer Prize-winning announcer Nicholas Kristof. The Usual Suspects Brilliant was additionally about to activate Assembly in January with Mickey Rourke on an absolute abstruseness alleged mascots. Greene had struggled with demons in the past. Edwards conceded. While acquainted, the actor appeared blessed and advantageous in the canicule for his death. He was admired by neighbors in the Clinton Street apartment, with a sordid association blacked the actor's abrupt death. He was an amazing man. He was the very actual best. One woman who heard the Christmas music told the Post, crumbling to allotment her name, Mary Paterno, who was blockage with acquaintance in an adjacent unit, declared Greene's accident as pretty adverse for everybody in the building. My company that I'm blockage with, I told them, and they were like, oh, my God. He'd advise us with our bales and backpack, being up and advise us with our dog, and he was an absolutely acceptable guy. Paterno said, abacus, she had met Greene on several occasions. He was such a nice guy. He was so helpful. I apprehended some of the letters this morning, and they said he was a difficult guy to assignment with. I didn't acquisition him difficult. That was not my acumen of him. Greene, who hailed from Montclair, New Jersey, ran abroad from home at 15 and lived on the streets of the Big Apple, area he angry to biologic use, and eventually dealing. He told Premier Annual in 1996. After attempting suicide in March 1996, he approved analysis for his addictions, according to Profile. The baby amateur fabricated a name for himself, assuming villains throughout the 90s, including as Zed, the barbarous Aegis Bouncer, and consecutive analgesic in Quentin Tarantino's 1994 hit Pulp Fiction.